They fired the only IT guy. 24 hours later, the whole company went dark. Management decided to fire the company's only IT guy. A day later, nothing worked. They thought the only IT guy was expendable. Within 24 hours, the whole system collapsed. The ringtone wasn't just a sound, it was the death rattle of a multimillion-dollar company, and I was letting it ring. I sat on my worn-out leather couch, feet propped up on the coffee table, watching the name, Marcus, CEO, flash across my phone screen for the 14th time in 10 minutes. I took a slow, deliberate sip of my coffee. It was 10:15 a.m. on a Tuesday. Usually, by this time, I'd be 3 hours deep into a server migration, sweating through my dress shirt, fielding panic attacks from the sales team because they forgot their passwords for the third time that week. But today I was unemployed. And today, the digital apocalypse I had inadvertently set in motion was finally raining fire. I declined the call. To understand why I was watching the world burn with a smile on my face, you have to understand the meeting that happened 24 hours ago. You have to smell the stale espresso and expensive cologne that permeated Marcus's office. It was Monday, January 19th, 4 p.m. The Friday of the mind, as Marcus liked to call it right before he ruined your weekend. I walked in, notebook in hand, expecting a request to fix his printer again. Instead, I found Marcus sitting behind his glass desk, flanked by Brenda from HR. Brenda wouldn't look at me. She was staring intensely at a potted fern as if it held the secrets to the universe. Sit down, Jack, Marcus said. He didn't look up from his iPad. I sat. The chair was low, designed to make you feel small. What's up, Marcus? Server load is stable, if that's what you're worried about. I finished the optimization script this morning. It's not about the servers, Jack. Marcus finally looked at me. His eyes were cold, calculating. The eyes of a man who saw people as line items on a spreadsheet. We're pivoting. Pivoting? I asked, gripping the notebook. Pivoting to what? We sell logistics software. We're pivoting our operational structure, he said, using that corporate buzzword voice that made my skin crawl. Look, Jack, you've been great. Really. But the industry is changing. We need agility. We need cost-effectiveness. I felt the bottom drop out of my stomach. Cost-effectiveness? You mean me? My salary? You're expensive, Jack. Marcus sighed, as if my mortgage payments were personally insulting him. We've contracted a firm, Global Tech Solutions. They're based overseas. They can provide 24-hour coverage for a fraction of what we pay you. It's simple math. Global Tech. I laughed, a harsh, dry sound. Marcus, those guys are a ticket farm. They read from a script. They don't know our infrastructure. We have custom legacy code. We have a hybrid cloud environment that I built from scratch over 6 years. You can't just hand the keys to a call center. They are highly rated professionals. Marcus snapped, his patience thinning. And the transition is already done. They have the documentation you uploaded to the shared drive. The documentation. I stood up. The documentation is a guide, Marcus. It's not the map. It doesn't tell you where the landmines are. We don't need metaphors, Jack. We need your badge. He held out his hand. I looked at Brenda. She was still studying the fern. I looked at Marcus. He was smirking. A tiny, barely perceptible twitch of the lip that said I win, you lose. I reached into my pocket and pulled out my keycard. I placed it on the glass desk. You're making a mistake, I said quietly. I'm saving the company $120,000 a year, Marcus replied. Security will escort you out. Do not touch your computer. Do not talk to the staff. I walked out. I didn't make a scene. I didn't scream. I just felt a cold, numb shock spreading through my limbs. 6 years. I had slept under my desk during the blizzard of 22 to keep the servers running. I had missed my cousin's wedding to patch a 0-day vulnerability. I was the architect, the janitor, and the guard dog of their entire digital existence. And they replaced me with a budget cut. I went home. I drank a beer. I stared at the wall. And then, I remembered the button. See, being the only IT guy is dangerous. If I get hit by a bus, the company needs access. But I also needed security. I needed to know that if someone hijacked my account, they couldn't burn the place down. So, 3 years ago, I wrote a script. A dead man switch. It was a simple, brutal piece of automation. Every morning at 8 a.m., a prompt appeared on my admin terminal. Secure link verification. I had to click renew. If I clicked it, a token was refreshed, and the SSL certificates, the encryption keys for the database, and the Active Directory licenses were renewed for another 24 hours. If I didn't click it, the system assumed the admin account was compromised or abandoned. It was programmed to execute a lockdown protocol in its system, pull the plug on the internet and lock the doors from the inside. The thing about IT infrastructure is that it's invisible until it breaks. It's like oxygen. You don't thank the air for existing, but the second it's gone, it's the only thing you care about. By the time the sun set on Tuesday, Marcus wasn't just going to be missing oxygen, he was going to be suffocating in a vacuum of his own creation. But the real twist wasn't the crash itself. It was what Global Tech did when the red light started flashing. You see, when you hire cheap labor to fix a complex problem, they don't just fail to fix it. They panic. And panic in a server room is like a bull in a china shop if the bull was also on fire. Click here to watch full video.